Where are we today? We're not just in Ballymena, like.
No, well, we're just at home here today, outside Armoy, so we are.
And J Wilson Contracts, tell us a little bit about who is Wilson Contracts here. What's the story?
J Wilson is my uncle, John Wilson. Started up, I come on at the business, never left school. Most of the headaches is to do with me now.
You're not just a Claas green line man. You're a Claas the whole way through the line man. Mm-hmm. You Claas tractors and everything, but we've caught up with you at a bit of slurry. You're ferrying and we've caught up with you direct pumping.
Yeah.
Tell us why it's all Claas here, and then we'll talk a bit about the slurry.
John was rental years ago, suppose back in Alan Boyd's time in Ballymoney, and then he went Case, and for some unknown reason I always had a soft spot for rental, and although there was never anybody really to sell them, here was the biggest problem. And Irwin's and Nuts Corner took them on back 2001 I think it was. And we bought a rental from them, and we had 3 or 4 rentals, and then Irwin's got the Claas agency, and we stuck with Irwin's more or less. We were happy with the service, and I just went for there.
We ourselves know the capability of the 650 as an example.
Yeah.
We had one out, and the grip and the comfort in the tractor was exceptional. There's been lots of different changes throughout the years as they've went into their C-Matic and the different gearboxes and different sizes of tractors. You have an 840, I think.
The 840's power shaft does well for us. We actually have no varios. We did think about a vario this time, but we ended up going for another power shaft.
And is there any reason for that, or?
Probably mainly the price.
Well, that's an important.
We had another 650 coming, she's not here yet. We'd had to win 660 to get into the vario, I feel, and that was just a big step up in price. And the other 2 650s that we have is doing more than well for us.
And what is the main duties of the 650s there that's on that?
650s that we have there at the minute is mostly haulage, tanker work, carton work. There's one of them in a set of butterfly mowers. Just anything really.
And do you find then perhaps just on that haulage job the power shift maybe suits it better?
I think so. I think maybe the vario sometimes in the haulage could be maybe a wee bit sore on fuel, and I don't know. I think the power shift's working for us anyway,
Tell us a little bit about the slurry operation here. So slurry, as we know over the years, has become such a big thing, but this year in particular, and we're talking 2022, with the prices of everything absolutely skyrocketing, and we know it's scary stuff. Slurry is very much seen now as a very valuable commodity for farmers. So what are you guys spreading with, and how are you helping the farmer to get the best out of his grass? Because it's all mostly going on the grassland.
We went down the road of umbilical. I think this is our 4th season now, and it's got busier and busier every year. Everybody wants it done with a dribble bar. By law, we need to do it with a dribble bar. I think the main benefits of the dribble bar is compaction. There's certainly a lot more cost to it, but the slurry is going on more efficiently, so that has to mean something. They're less loss, and the whole thing's new going, even GPS, and there's no overlapping, and it's just so technical,
And how do you spread? What are you running?
We're running a slurry cat system at the minute. She's 9.5 metre dribble bar. I just bought that to get started, and probably didn't think slurry was going to take off how it did take off, so she's now at a stage where we'd need to be thinking about going bigger. This year we invested quite heavily into a lot of new ferry tankers, and we bought a 2,500 Red Rock with a dribble bar on her as well for the field, for sort of summer work.
Yes.
Because we really don't know what's going to be through at us this year, whether farmers are going to buy their own or whether they're not, and slurry is going to be busy, I think.
Absolutely, and look, you're not on your own with that way of thinking. There's been lots of different contractors thinking about summertime work. Are they going to need something for the field?
Yeah.
There's been a few self-propelled machines has appeared into the north in general. Is there going to be a lot of slurry still getting ferried in the summertime to machines in fields? We don't know, but you're right. I don't think the farmer is going to be wanting to put on as much of the fertiliser.
Nope.
as normal, so he's going to want that fast run.
That's right.
Of slurry put out after.
Aye,
and it has to be dribble barred.
It has to be dribble barred, yep. And it's all about what you can do in the day. You know, like the farmers, first of all, don't have the time anymore, and it takes them too long, I suppose, to get it done. You know, I seen us in the field before this was even out of the field, putting on slurry. They wanted it on that quick, you know.
Absolutely. And what are you sprayed with then?
I was spreading with a 640 there at the minute. We haircut it out with the big wheels on it.
And do you ferry via nurse tank, or are you into the DCA, or what's your preferred system there?
95% of it is nurse tank. The 2 tankers that we bought this year has DCA arms on them that we can do that. Made them a very expensive tanker, but that means a customer can't say, oh, I want a DCA arm, or I want it done with a nurse tank. We can do whatever they want type of thing, you know. What configuration did you go for in the tankers there? Because I noticed something in the footage from the day where you were out, you don't necessarily need the PTO No,
shaft.
we went with the hydraulic vacuum pump, and then we have the Doda pump on for the DCA arm, which obviously you can't get away from the shaft, but at least when your DCA arm, the person's on the seat of the tractor is not near a shaft.
Really and truly, what do you think of the hydraulic vacuum pump?
I like it. That's maybe too early to see if there's any trouble, but I really think it's a great job.
And from a safety aspect?
Well, that's, you know, exceptional. No, I think it's the way to go.
Do you like your Red Rock tankers?
I do. Well pleased with them. Well pleased with what they hold. They're strong.
In Northern Ireland this year, there's a lot of nice big new tankers. We've seen a few of them, and they seem to be very popular.
They are. Aye, there's a lot. Like we got our first one in March last year. The dealer was out with me whenever I was buying the 2.5, and he says if you have any notion of another 3.5, we need to be talking. And the day I bought the 2.5, I bought the 3.5 as well, and she only came there at Christmas time. And
do you run any other types of tankers, or all Red Rock now?
We are all Red Rock. There's another fella, Liam Devlin, as he carts with his own tractor and his own tanker. He's in most of the time whenever we're ferrying. That's the only difference.
When you're direct pumping, what changes? What pumps?
Well, when we're direct pumping, we use the Axion for direct pumping. She's probably overkill, but she's there, and we might as well use her. You know what I mean? It gets her something else to do. And to be fair, she's not overly hard to run. Like I know guys with smaller tractors is using more diesel an hour than we are with a bigger tractor.
What pump system do you operate?
HD 35 Doda.
That's the heavy, the big Doda pumps. You're a Doda pump man.
Yeah.
Do you think when it comes to the Claas tractor, because it's the old, and I've heard this, said many times, the FPT engine, because that'll be an FPT engine versus on your smaller ones will be your Deere engine.
Yeah.
Is that changing?
I hope so.
Is that where it's at with you? You prefer the FPT engine?
Definitely over the old John Deere engine. Them newer 650s engine would be better in them. On grass for mowing, it would be a lot easier to run. Your
season at this point, you're at the slurry. You'll then move into a bit of groundwork, which will hopefully get out to sea. Obviously, behind you is your 870. What age is it? What's the plan? Are there any new ones coming this year or what?
The 870 has 4 seasons done, I think. Aye, the plan would be to change her now after this season, but we'll have to see what happens.
You're at the 870, so you've an 880 you could go to.
Yep.
Or then you're going to have to move towards the 9.
Well, probably in the Claas, the only option we have is probably either an 880 or a 970. I think to go any smaller than a 970, we're going to be disappointed.
We know from our good friend Gavin McKnight, he's a very capable
Yeah,
jobber.
yeah.
Then my 970s and 970. That'll be some statement to have all Claas tractors and all Claas mowers and maybe change them. But here, I'll tell the boys to keep fighting, keep the check.
Well, there's maybe possibly a wee change of colour coming anyway before the summer, so we'll see what happens.
Ryan, thanks for letting us call out. It's good to see you at the Slurry. Our plan is we'd like to call back and forward this season and maybe get involved and have a bit of crack and see how you get on and how your season goes and how it develops. But look, thank you in the meantime, and as the boy says, keep her spreading for you're busy out at the Slurry. So
yeah, thank you, Gareth.
dead on.
You're welcome anytime.